Grit. Courage. Passion. Honor.
My father was in the army. My grandfather was in the army. I haven't seen nothing but army in my whole life. So I don't feel like it's different, anything different than like the way I breathe or something. It comes very naturally to me.
Field Marshal Earl Wavell, the legendary British soldier, had once said, "All battles and all wars are won in the end by infantrymen." Infantrymen are the foot soldiers of an army. They engage with their adversary face to face. They capture and hold territory. The infantryman is at the forefront of all military operations. As a result, he always bears the brunt, and his casualties are heavy. The art of the infantryman is less stereotype and far harder to acquire in modern warfare than that of any other arm in the army. The infantry is the largest and the most potent arm of the Indian Army. An infantry unit is a fairly self-contained unit capable of launching operations and holding its ground in a battle zone with minimum external assistance.
There is no obstacle for the infantry. There is nothing known as a mountain. There is nothing known as a river. There is nothing that infantry cannot cross on its own.
Revolutionary advancements in military technology notwithstanding, no army can dispense with these gutsy men, armed with their weapons and their never-say-die spirit.
Infantry is called the queen of the battle.
Just like the versatile queen on a chessboard, the infantry is the most adaptable force in the battlefield.
Infantry is unique in the sense that it is capable of undertaking any task in any terrain. It achieves it irrespective of the difficulties involved.
As the leading unit or vanguard of all military operations, the infantry seeks out and closes with the enemy, kills or captures him, and fends off counterattacks. The infantryman is an all-rounder trained to invade enemy territory on foot and retain control over it. When an infantry unit comes in contact with the enemy, it normally starts firing at and moving towards the enemy positions. The unit groups itself into two halves. One becomes the firing element, and the other becomes the movement element. The firing element forces the enemy to keep their heads down and provides a cover to the movement element, making it easy for them to advance and draw close to the enemy. The firing and moving take place simultaneously. Depending on the distance to the enemy position and the available cover, the firing and moving elements constantly interchange roles before assaulting from close quarters. This is called the fire and move tactic. Simple, modest and unassuming from the outside, but tough and resilient from the inside. These battle-hardened bayonet men are prized assets of any army. The Indian infantry is a multitasking combat-rich force with a celebrated history. As frontline soldiers, infantrymen are supported by the other arms of the army to help them get closer to their objectives and conclude operations successfully.
Infantry is the only arm which can finally assault and hold the ground.
MMG post. 2 round fire. 4 and Papa for 1.
It is deployed from the coast of Andaman Nicobar's deserts to plains of Punjab and here in the mountains. So we are everywhere.
The word Siachen in Balti language means a land of wild roses. But life here at 20,700 feet from the sea level is anything but rosy. This picturesque place of beauty is the world's highest battlefield. The Siachen Glacier. It takes a lot more than just firearms to tame this unforgiving battleground. The Indian Army soldier here is alert round the clock, maintaining vigil as he would do in any other terrain across the country.
Every person in the army serving in Siachen is a dream.
The air here contains only a fraction of the oxygen that it does in the plains. Walking 25 kilometers here could take up to 6 or more days. One wrong step and one could simply fall into a crevice, keeping the enemy frozen in its tracks at -60 degrees Celsius and maintaining watch in the face of frequent blizzards, hitting at speeds of up to 300 kilometers per hour, is something unthinkable for most of the armies in the world.
This place itself has got motivation. This place is one of the pinnacles of Indian Army, and it's an honor to serve here.
For the last 27 years, infantry soldiers from most of the regiments have been doing a tenure of at least 3 months at Siachen. At altitudes where very few armies in the world operate, the sound of army choppers is music to their ears. The hepters mean more than just a mode of transport for these soldiers isolated from the rest of the world. They bring food, medicines, essential supplies, and above all, letters. A highly appreciated article in the soldiers' list, and their only connect with their loved ones. Bada Khana is a vital part of army traditions.
हमारा बटालियन सियाचिन का टेन्योर करके नीचे सही सलामत पहुंच गया है और इसी के उपलक्ष्य में ये बड़ा खाना किया जा रहा है। राम राम आप सबको।
It is a feast and social get-together where officers and their men meet to celebrate special occasions together. Having successfully completed a Siachen tenure surely calls for celebrations.
हाँ साहब बहुत बढ़िया।
हमें व्यक्तिगत तौर पर भी मान है कि हम सियाचिन जैसे इलाके में रहे, वहाँ पर हमने सेवा किया, सर्विस किया।
Attending the Siachen Battle School is a must for every soldier deployed at the glacier. Situated at freezing heights of 12,200 feet at the snout of the glacier, the school trains soldiers in snow and mountain craft. Its endurance capsule tunes up their mind and body to survive in this intimidating terrain. It also helps conquer their fear of the unknown. They learn to climb near vertical walls of ice and cross over natural barriers. Around 7,000 soldiers train here every year.
Being deployed in Siachen is a day-to-day battle. We face challenges every day here. There are people with varied standards of physical attributes. We have to get them all together to a particular standard to prepare them psychologically and physically for this particular place. The weather and the terrain is extremely dangerous and puts a challenge in front of the infantry which is operating in this area. The casualty management in this area is of particular importance and is a challenge, everyday challenge.
It is estimated that of all the casualties in Siachen, over 95% can be attributed to the extremely cold and unfriendly terrain. So what does it take to produce these warriors? Warriors who are the pride of India's 29 infantry regiments. Men who embody the essence of soldiering. Men who are forever willing to walk that extra mile. Men who refuse to wilt in the face of extreme adversity. Mission Army's 5 finalists shall now go through a commando training module at the infantry school in Belgaum.
The elite institution of the Indian Army, that is the commando wing, which is part of the infantry school.
Commando training is mandatory for all infantry officers. And the Mission Army candidates get to experience what very few even in the army get to do. How will they fare in their commando mission? Find out after the break.
मुश्किल वक्त कमांडो सख्त. पूरी एक्साइटमेंट अभी जा रहे हैं जहाँ.
The magnitude of it, the sound inside, things happen so fast.
फायर का बटन दबाया और सिर्फ फायर.
Monday 10 p.m. Idea presents Nat Geo Mission Army Desh Ke Rakshak, powered by Samsung Mobile, only on the National Geographic Channel. In this beautiful world that we live, somewhere lie some stories more real than anything we've heard.
I couldn't see my own soul in my eyes.
True people, true emotions.
I managed to get home. It was just wonderful.
True stories, always at 11 p.m. on the National Geographic Channel.
Mountains are the friends. They are very quiet and they are very friendly to us. But contrary to this, these friends are the ones who do not accept any mistakes. They do not pardon your errors because they cost life.
The High Altitude Warfare School, or HAWS, is a center for excellence. The training here instills confidence and builds up stamina of the soldiers guarding the Himalayan frontiers.
A student, when he joins, he sees the ruggedness of the mountain, difficulties of the high altitude, he calls it impossible. We make it sure that when he successfully completes it, he says, I am possible.
It trains the army to integrate with the surroundings for effectively manning India's high-altitude forward posts.
Mountains offers the best location where you can dominate the entire area sitting on a height.
During the Kargil conflict involving armed infiltrators inside Indian territory in 1999, the High Altitude Warfare School conducted crash courses for Indian troops. It equipped them with necessary skills and know-how to tackle their adversaries occupying icy peaks and ridges. The High Altitude Warfare School has over the years become the pivot for the Indian Army's specialized training and dissemination of doctrines in high altitude mountain and snow warfare.
There is no peak or a mountain peak which has not been summited by the instructors of the HAWS. That includes Mount Everest, Kanchenjunga and many other peaks.
Staying so long in these mountains has been quite an experience for me. Initially I also didn't like them, but now I started loving them. They started loving me, which is good for both of us.
The Mission Army candidates are at the Infantry Training School in Belgaum, where the infantrymen train to become commandos. The motto of the commando school is to make men out of boys.
In this institution, a person is made to realize that capabilities of his body are not limited by capabilities which he pursues, putting mind over matter.
With a duration of 35 days, it is one of the toughest professional courses an infantry officer undergoes.
Sleep is an essential thing which gives you comfort. Any person who is rested enough will be able to think properly. Out here, deprivation of sleep is by design, and it keeps getting extended day by day. Till in the end, he is only getting about minimum 3 to 4 hours of sleep and still continuing to perform, willing his body to move ahead and do the task as assigned to him. Food we do not compromise upon. except during the survival leg, where he's supposed to catch and cook on his own. Anybody who is mentally sound and can ride over all his physical discomfort is fit to be a commando.
Priyanka and Ela get a rare honor of experiencing commando training. Normally, this course is exclusive to male officers and men of the Indian Army.
Commando Ela ready to go. Commando Priyanka ready, sir.
Commando Kuldeep ready, sir.
Commando Senguba तैयार है.
Best of luck for everybody.
Before commencing their commando training, Mission Army's 5 candidates have to demonstrate all that they have learned at the Indian Military Academy. Running, climbing, jumping, crawling, balancing and firing a weapon.
We got only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same?
Shooting has been very disappointing.
I thought I was firing, but coming
Plus,
out,
you fired very fast, okay? Patience, okay? You require patience in firing. You need to control your breath. You're firing just like tha, tha, tha. And this is the result.
If a commando can catch, handle and eat a snake in the hour of need, he'll not shy away from catching and surviving on any other animal or resources which can be locally found.
The rocket which was exploded from here. First time we are in such close contact with the explosives.
मेरा दिल बहुत तेज से धड़क रहा है आज, बहुत ज़्यादा मतलब घबराहट हो रही है.
वो जब जिसने क्रॉस किया वो कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल का बाप बन गया मुझे.
पूरी एक्साइटमेंट अभी जा रहे हैं जाओ.
The magnitude of it, the sound inside, things happen so fast.
फायर का बटन दबाया और सिर्फ फायर.
Monday 10 p.m. Idea presents Nat Geo Mission Army Desh Ke Rakshak, powered by Samsung Mobile, only on the National Geographic Channel. Nat Geo always thrills you with the greatest wildlife stories ever told. Always a dramatic turn. A moment of ecstasy. Now witness the greatest wildlife stories ever. All things wild. Always at 8 p.m. only on National Geographic Channel. This is the making of heroes. Watch 5 ordinary citizens survive challenges, endure rough terrain, drive tanks, train like a commando, get airdropped, fire field guns, para jump, and do everything that it takes to stand up to the force. The force that defines being a hero. National Geographic Channel gives you the exclusive access inside the Indian Army. A series unique and bigger than any other on Indian television. Experience this extraordinary mission of how heroes are made. Idea presents Nat Geo Mission Army Desh Ke Rakshak, powered by Samsung Mobile. Monday 10 p.m. only on the National Geographic Channel.
Having loads of physical endurance is non-negotiable for a commando. Such are the demands of the life they are expected to live.
You will find a lot of people who are physically fit. Given the right environment, right temperature, right training facilities, we go a step further.
Mission Army commandos experience survival techniques. How to live off the land and eat whatever is edible. Catching, killing and consuming a snake is something they wouldn't have dreamt of before joining the mission.
If a commando can catch, handle and eat a snake in the hour of need, he'll not shy away from catching and surviving on any other animal or resources which can be locally found.
We'll have to carry out edibility tests for all those plants whom you do not recognize,
thereby making him available always, fit for fighting.
They learn unarmed combat, the art of self-defense.
बड़ा अच्छा डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन दिया कमांडोज ने, जो एक्सप्रेशन से जिस तरह करने चाहिए बड़ी अच्छी टेक्निक से दिखाया है.
Their next task is to climb a 60 feet high near vertical rock surface. Army regulars are supposed to climb it within 60 seconds.
कमांडो सख्त.
Using a rope and a carabiner, Rohan finishes first by climbing the fastest. Priyanka and Ela are finding it difficult to rise to the occasion.
Able to identify the
Handling improvised explosive devices, commonly used by militants and enemy forces, is a must-have skill for commandos.
ID full form is improvised explosive device.
The Mission Army commandos learn about these dangerous devices, their possible placements, and get useful tips on booby traps commonly deployed in jungle warfare.
The rocket which was exploded from here. First time we are in such close contact with explosives.
It's a normal bus stand, just go and I'm asking you to just go and relax.
The commando is expected to raid enemy targets in all kinds of weather conditions and in all possible terrain. The Mission Army commandos are given an exposure on planning a raid. To achieve absolute surprise and to catch the enemy off guard, most raid missions are planned for the night. The Mission Army commandos get a first-hand experience of reaching a destination in the darkness of the night and carrying out observation and surveillance of enemy positions and their weapons.
Two tanks, 3 men in the tent. That's what I can see.
बहुत ज़्यादा ठंड लग रही है.
ऐसा लग रहा है कि कब जाके रूम में आके कपड़े निकाल के मस्त गर्म पानी से शावर ले लूँ और खाना आके सो जाऊँ.
Enriched by a range of activities at the commando school, the Mission Army commandos now gear up for their final task, the dreaded Lido jump. Keep watching.
Commando Rohan ready to jump, sir! Commando Ela jump. Just let yourself go, Ela. Report again. Commando Ela ready to jump, sir! Commando Ela jump.
The magnitude of it, the sound inside, things happen so fast.
फायर का बटन दबाया और सिर्फ फायर
Monday 10 p.m. Idea presents Nat Geo Mission Army Desh Ke Rakshak, powered by Samsung Mobile, only on the National Geographic Channel. When you think, always think big. When you build, always build bigger. Nat Geo presents the biggest things ever to hit television. Big. Always at 9 p.m. only on National Geographic Channel. This is the making of heroes. Watch 5 ordinary citizens survive challenges, endure rough terrain, drive tanks, train like a commando, get airdropped, fire field guns, jump, and do everything that it takes to stand up to the force. The force that defines being a hero. National Geographic Channel gives you the exclusive access inside the Indian Army. A series unique and bigger than any other on Indian television. Experience this extraordinary mission of how heroes are made. Idea presents Nat Geo Mission Army Desh Ke Rakshak, powered by Samsung Mobile. Monday 10 p.m. only on the National Geographic Channel.
पाँच 20 बज गए कमांडो ट्रेनिंग है अभी माई बॉडी स्टिल सो फ्रॉम यस्टरडे
The final task for the Mission Army Commandos is the Lido jump.
Just I had seen in this Prahar movie ये शॉट वाला
मेरा दिल बहुत तेज से धड़क रहा है आज बहुत ज़्यादा मतलब घबराहट हो रही है
60 फीट जंप के बारे में मैंने सुना था इससे पहले हमारे सैनिक स्कूल के सर कहा करते थे हमें कि वो जंप जिसने क्रॉस किया वो कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल का बाप बन गया
The Lido jump is meant to help soldiers overcome their fear of heights. It is also a confidence booster. The Lido jump involves diving into a water tank in combat dress, swimming across to a ladder, climbing it and walking across a 1 foot wide and 44 feet long platform placed 55 feet above the water surface. This jump prepares them to cross long bridges over rivers and nalas flowing deep down below and in high mountain passes. At the other end, one has to climb onto a rope and monkey crawl on it. Hang there, give a readiness signal and plunge into the pool upon hearing the conducting officer's command.
Number 1, Commander Sandeep Group, ready to jump, sir. Commander Group.
एक तो मुझे स्विमिंग नहीं आती है और दूसरी मुझे हाइट से बड़ा डर लगता है और ये दोनों चीजें यहाँ पर है
Still, Kuldeep takes the lead in attempting the jump. As they say, gravity will pull you down and confidence will take you up. Despite his fear of heights, Kuldeep has displayed amazing self-belief, walking the narrow platform. Ditto with his monkey crawl. And that seems to be the end of his good innings. His height and water phobia come into play.
Kuldeep Rana ready, sir, commander. Water Kuldeep Rana. Not help you anyway. Water Kuldeep Rana.
He must let go of his phobias to prove himself,
Sir, it's losing.
holding him back from jumping despite repeated instruction.
उसने जो वॉकिंग वगैरह किया है ऊपर से या फिर क्रॉलिंग किया, बहुत बढ़िया किया। खाली को तो डर रहा था या फिर दिखा रहा था, पता नहीं।
पहले गोली पे घबरा गया, काफी घबरा गया। फिर दूसरी जब ग्रिप लूज होने लगी तो फिर मैंने नहीं सोचा, फिर मैंने कहा बस अब कार्रवाई कर दो पूरी।
If Priyanka manages to pull it off, she would surely make history as the first woman to have done the Lido jump.
I'll do it. I don't have anything in my mind right now.
Her National Cadet Corps training seems to be coming in handy, for she is not at all glancing downwards and has climbed up with the can-do-it spirit in her mind. Will her confidence see her through and let her earn her place in India's military history? One has to have the right mix of confidence, physical stamina, mental endurance, and requisite skills to make it till the end.
I'm fine. वो जंप इतना फास्ट होता है, समझता भी नहीं कि हम लोग कब नीचे आए और कब पानी के अंदर गए। तो मैं पीठ पे गिरी हूँ शायद, जैसे मुझे लग रहा है, और that was my mistake.
जैसे ही ऊपर पहुंची उस लेवल पे जहाँ से मैं वॉक करनी थी, वहाँ पे मुझे थोड़ा डर लगा। मुझे डर इस हाइट का नहीं था, मुझे डर था कि बिकॉज दैट थिंग वाज शेकिंग।
At 55 feet above the ground, wind can make the platform shaky, but the instructor would not give any concessions for that. One must climb, cross, crawl, and jump to his complete satisfaction.
Considering that I'm overweight, मुझे ऐसे नहीं लगा था कि मेरे हाथ मेरी बॉडी को पिकअप कर पाएंगे उतनी हाइट पर।
It's okay. Slow, slow, very slow.
Commander, Ila, follow! Ready to jump, so! Commander, Ila, jump. Just let yourself go, Ila. Report again. Okay, Commander, Ila, we're ready to jump, so! Commander, Ila, jump.
Ila's hands get tired, and she jumps.
ईला बढ़िया है, वो हमेशा टफ गर्ल है, हर टास्क में वो आगे चलती है और मतलब हार कभी नहीं मानती, और वही अभी देखने को मिला है। परफेक्ट लैंडिंग की उसने, मतलब पूरा स्ट्रेट करके ये।
When I think when I was scared at that height, I think it's a different feeling when you're up there hanging 60 feet above, 60 feet above.
नीचे से तो देखने में अच्छा लगता है, पर ऊपर जाके ही पता चलता है कि कितना गहरा है।
All the steps leading to the Lido jump are meant to bring out the tenacity of a commando.
स्टेप्स नीचे उतरते समय तो थोड़ा डर लग रहा था क्योंकि विंड भी बहुत है, बट आफ्टर ऑल आई डिड इट.
The jump itself symbolizes the capacity to let oneself into a void, a quality essential for a commando, as he has to face and overcome every hurdle that comes his way. Performing the jump as prescribed in the commando rulebook will surely get Rohan some extra points.
Commando Rohan, ready to jump, sir! Commando Rohan.
बहुत बढ़िया यार. बहुत मजा आया.
I came, I saw, and in a minute I'll conquer.
My mind went totally blank because I have a fear of heights. I have a little vertigo, and to jump into that water like that, I couldn't even imagine doing it.
Competing neck to neck with Rohan till now, Rudrashish has a tough task on his hands. Crossing legs during a monkey crawl could slow down his advance. It may also consume excess energy and exert unnecessary pressure on his arms and shoulders.
तेरे हाथ से जान निकल गई.
लंबा सांस लीजिए, लंबा सांस लीजिए.
Mission Commando is over, and it is time to find out the winner of this task. With the strength of her arms leaving her side, Priyanka is in 5th place. The wrong move of overconfidence places Rudrashish in 4th place. Ila Vora manages her place as the 2nd runner-up, followed by Kuldeep as the 1st runner-up. The calm and quiet Rohan occupies the 1st position of Mission Commando. Mission Army moves to the mechanized forces next week.
excitement अभी जा रहे हैं. The magnitude of it, the sound inside, things happen so fast.
फायर का बटन दबाया और सिर्फ फायर फायर.
Monday 10 p.m. Idea presents Nat Geo Mission Army Desh Ke Rakshak, powered by Samsung Mobile, only on the National Geographic Channel. When you think, always think big. When you build, always build bigger. Nat Geo presents the biggest things ever to hit television. Big. Always at 9 p.m. only on National Geographic Channel. This is the making of heroes. Watch 5 ordinary citizens survive challenges, endure rough terrain, drive tanks, train like a commando, get airdropped, fire field guns, para jump, and do everything that it takes to stand up to the force. The force that defines being a hero. National Geographic Channel gives you the exclusive access inside the Indian Army. A series unique and bigger than any other on Indian television. Experience this extraordinary mission of how heroes are made. Idea presents Nat Geo Mission Army Desh Ke Rakshak, powered by Samsung Mobile. Monday 10 p.m. only on the National Geographic Channel.